Hello everyone, and welcome back to another PrizeCP Roblox Studio tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to answer a viewer's question. In our prior tutorial, scripting moving models with getPivot and pivot2, a viewer commented, "Okay, but how do you do this with tweens?" So I assume the viewer wants to know how to move a model using tweens. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to use tweens to move a model. We're now going to be able to do this using what we learned in our prior tutorial on tween basics. We're going to be able to move a model using tweens. We are now inside Roblox Studio. First thing I'm going to need to create a model. To make things simple, I'm just going to use a dummy. So I'm going to go to Plugins, click on Build Rig, R15 Block Rig. I'm going to move my dummy down to the base plate. And just a few things I want to point out here. In case you're not using a dummy, you're using a different model, then there's a couple of things you need to keep in mind. Number one is my dummy has a primary part. So if I select the dummy, I go to the properties window. There is a primary part property. And you can see there is a humanoid root part. So if I expand my dummy, my humanoid root part here, the dummy's humanoid root part, that's what's gonna move the dummy, right? So if I click on that, couple of things you have to do is you have to make sure your humanoid root part is anchored. If you use the dummy, it's automatically anchored, right? That's the default. But if you're using your own model, which is not a dummy, just make sure your humanoid root part is anchored, or if you don't have a humanoid root part, make sure your primary part is anchored so that the model doesn't fall down. If it's not anchored, as soon as you move it, gravity is gonna take it down, so it's gonna fall down, right? So just make sure it's anchored. And if you don't have a humanoid root part, just make sure you select the part. Like click on your model and go to primary part, click on the space over here and select the part to be the primary part, because that's going to be the part that's going to move the whole model. Okay, now that's all set. We're going to go to our service, script service. We're going to have a script. In our script, let's first declare our tween service. So we're going to say local tween service equals to game get service TweenService. Next, we're going to declare our primary part of the dummy's primary part. So we're going to say local primary, because again, when you move the primary part of a model, the whole model moves with the primary part. So you only have to move the primary part, and that's equal to game.workspace.dummy.primary part. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wait for 12 seconds before we do anything. So I'm gonna do a task wait of 12 seconds. So now I have my part here, right, which is the primary part. Next thing we're gonna need from our prior lesson on tween basics, we're gonna need a tween info. So let's declare our tween info, local tween info, and that's equal to tween info dot new, and we're gonna give it 10 seconds for it to complete the whole tween. It's gonna take 10 seconds. Next, we're gonna declare our target. So it's gonna be local target, and again the target is gonna be a dictionary. So we're gonna give it 2 curly brackets. And the property that we want to change is the C frame. So we're gonna say C frame equals to, so we're changing the C frame of our primary part, which is the humanoid root part, of the dummy. So C-frame, we're gonna set it equals to our target. So we're just gonna use the current primary part C-frame. So it's gonna be primary dot C-frame, and we're gonna add a vector 3 to it, plus vector 3 dot new, and I guess I'm gonna give it a 0, 20, 0. So now we have our part, we have our tween info, we have our target. Next thing we need is we need to create the tween. So we're gonna say local tween equals to TweenService colon create. And our create function is gonna have 3 parameters. First parameter is the part, which is primary, which is our primary part, comma. Second parameter is the tween info. And the third parameter is the target. And now we just have to play that tween. So tween colon play. So this part is gonna move our dummy straight up in the air by 20 units. Next thing I wanna do is I wanna rotate the dummy. So I'm just gonna copy this whole section here, and I'll paste it down here. I'm gonna do a task wait of 10 seconds because that's how long our tween is gonna take. So as soon as the tween finishes, we're gonna start a new tween. I'm gonna declare our new tween info here of just 1 second. So we're only this new tween is gonna take only 1 second total to finish the whole tween. And instead of changing the position of the C-frame, we're gonna change the rotation of the C-frame. So I'm gonna do multiply by C-frame dot angles, and our angle is gonna be 0, 0, math dot rad 90. Basically, it's rotating 90 degrees in the z-axis. The rest is the same. We're gonna create the tween, and then we're gonna play the tween. And then we're gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna copy this again, and I'll paste it down here. This time our wait is only gonna be 1 second, because over here our tween is only gonna take 1 second to complete. So we're waiting for 1 second for this tween to complete. Then we're gonna start a new tween. This one is also gonna take 1 second. And again, we're gonna move the position of the model now, of the dummy. So we're gonna go back to this one actually. We're gonna add a vector 3. Instead of multiplying, we're adding. This time I'm changing the X position, and I'm gonna go minus 500, and this one I'll change it to 0 and 0. Again, the create tween and the play is the same. Let's play and take a look. First I'm gonna have to find my dummy, and there it is. Give it, I believe, 12 seconds, and it should move up in the air. There it goes. It's moving up in the air, and it's gonna rotate. Rotate. There it goes. Boom! Wow, that was so quick. Everyone, that's how you tween a moving model. In this case, we scripted Iron Man with TweenService. Thank you all for watching. We will see you again in our next tutorial. Take care.